Lakers pick up their third win in a row, split the season series with the Denver Nuggets guys 2-2. And as we know, no LeBron James, no Rui for the Lakers, no Jamal Murray, no Nikola Jokic in this one for Denver. But we talked about it in the pregame show. The Lakers still had business to take care of, and I'd argue from the jump, that's exactly what their mindset was. Big game, Luka Doncic, Austin Reaves set the tone, 53 points combined offensively, not to mention Luka's 21 after the first quarter. And then you look to a guy like Jordan Goodwin. The team had 13 steals. He set the tone defensively, had 4 of them in the first half alone. A great team win all around. Plenty of things to look at.
Yeah, you can tell when a team has really developed and really are connected. Denver without Murray and Jokic, you know they were going to be a dangerous team tonight. But we were without some players as well. LeBron out and Rui out. And they were at home, and they set the tone. 2 leaders tonight, Luka and Reaves. Luka set the tone. Reaves is, he is an amazing player, the way he gets people involved. Then the others, Goodwin with the steals. I thought Vanderbilt, Dodo knocking down threes when they had to. Hayes really, involved. So they played as a unit, and the defense was amazing down the stretch. They were just not giving up easy buckets like they used to give up. So it was a good team win and some really good support from some, unfamiliar faces, particularly our bench. I think they must have had over 40 points or something tonight. So that's always a good sign that, team is playing well together against a good team.
Elliot, here is how far this franchise has come in just a few months. Early December, they had a game where they scored 80 points in a one-sided loss to Minnesota. Next game out, they scored 93. Tonight, through 3 quarters, they had 105 points. That's an amazing total. That's like an all-star game total. And the way this team played on offense tonight was just outstanding. LeBron and Rui, those 2 combined, that's about 40 points a game, just watching from the sidelines. And yet still, James, they dominated offensively. And here's the important part, too. So they're tied 2-2, Lakers and Denver, head-to-head. What's the next tiebreaker? In case they end up right there together in the standings. Conference record. Lakers now have a 3-game lead on Denver in the West Conference record. So, yeah, it's looking good for them. In case they face each other in the first round, second round, whatever round, it's looking pretty good for them.
So as of right now, with 14 games to go, they are half a game behind Houston there for that 2 seed in the Western Conference. I do want to touch a little bit on the offense, and you talk about how things have changed. On our show last night, Big Game, the non-game day show that we had, Mike Trudell was sitting right here, and he said it can be sometimes a Luka magic effect, if you will. And we do. We have to start with Luka because of how he came out in that first quarter. It was his 11th 20-point first quarter of his career. He had 21. I looked at you in the conference room and I said, Luka's line after the first quarter, 21 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, a block, and a steal. Many NBA players would take that for an entire game.
Exactly.
Ridiculous.
Just for him to set the tone as he continues to do.
And for him, it's unacceptable. The lobs to both Hayes and Koloko tonight, I think he gets more out of that than scoring himself, being able to find those lobs. So, Luka, I haven't seen anybody like him.
What a gift for the Lakers to have gotten this kid. What a strong series of moves by the Laker front office. Starting a few days after Christmas, Dorian Finney-Smith comes in. D'Lo is out. Okay, so Dorian Finney-Smith, not the dynamic scorer that D'Lo is, but obviously turning into a nice corner 3-point shooter, James. Love what he does defensively, obviously. And then, right before the trade deadline, the trade that shocked all of us. We all remember where we were when this happened. We didn't believe it. And it was real, very real. So real that Shams, who broke the story, had to tweet again. Yeah, everyone, it's true. This trade is happening. Luka Doncic is going to the Lakers. And what a pickup for them. What a way to uplift this franchise. They were in cruise control with LeBron and AD. They were doing just fine. But then you have this element, James.
Yeah.
And it's a different level so far.
Yeah, I was on the 405 on the way home from work, and Geeter called me. And you know how Geeter is. He was animated. And I said, what bar are you at? I'm going to join you. But, yeah, look, we were thinking about what our future was going to be like without LeBron if AD was our guy going forward. And then, obviously Reaves was playing well. We had some good potential, but we weren't quite sure until you get a franchise player like Luka at 25, 26 now, who was just in the NBA Finals, the best is yet to come.
Which is wild. I think outside of the win tonight, too, the other thing that we get to continue to see night to night from a guy like Luka Doncic is probably my favorite thing going around social media right now with a minute to go in the first quarter, when a fan was heckling him when he went to the free throw line saying ball don't lie, and Luka said, what do you mean ball don't lie? I have 20 points here in the first. Like, he knows exactly what he's doing. I want to ask you real quick before we check out the highlight of this one, just an overall perspective from this team right now. They're 23-11 versus teams below 500. They're now 20-14 versus teams above 500. JJ mentioned the other night before the Spurs game that he truly feels this team is embracing the importance of every game here down the stretch. You said it in the conference room. I heard you kind of say to yourself, we need these wins, especially because of the schedule. What is this team showing you right now? Because I'd argue it's showing you that they are giving signs of a great team.
Yeah, I think they're emerging as, and I think all the experts on TV, too, are saying, oh, my gosh, the Lakers are emerging as a tough team. They're saying that Austin Reaves is the third best, team in the league. So I think they're embracing that, and they're embracing the fact that they know that, home court advantage is really good to be at home that first round as you get going. So I don't know everything that's going on, but that coaching staff is really connecting with the players, and it's showing up on the floor. They want to play good defense. You can tell. They're like really clamping down collectively on everybody, steals, blocks, and, just harassing people. So the defense is what's, really working for them, but their offense can click. When you have guys like Austin Reaves and Luka on the floor, we haven't even got LeBron yet. So.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Yeah. I mean, Allie, this is their 5th game in 7 nights. And they dropped the first 2. It was looking kind of dire there. Where's LeBron and Rui? They're still on the sideline. And then they won their last 3. Okay, Phoenix, that's a team that wants to play. San Antonio, I get it. Their season's over. This team wanted to play tonight, Denver. Hey, two big guys out for Denver, 2 big guys out for the Lakers. Let's go.
Your element of having a big lead. What are the things that you want to see kind of continue when you this after you have the first quarter that you have?
Yeah, I think defensively the only real sort of lapse was that second quarter. We felt like the game tonight was going to come down, to our ability to get back and defend in transition and take care of the basketball and keep them off the glass. And that wasn't great in the first half, and a lot of those were in the second quarter. We had eight turnovers. They ended up with 21 fast break points, 9 offensive rebounds in the first half, and then cleaned all that stuff up in the second half, which was awesome. And then I think, for 3 quarters, just the way we were able to generate great shots and, Luka leading that. But I think defensively, outside of a couple things, even in the fourth, there were a couple red mistakes, but it was a great night, and I think Vando and Goody really led that for us. You felt them when they were in the game, and they were part of some big runs for us.
You just mentioned them off the bench, and then you also get, I think, 3 guys in double figures, some shots going in off the bench. Obviously, that's going to help on a given night, but anything particularly tonight you saw that got those guys going?
Well, with Jokic out, we knew they were going to red everything, and then when that didn't work, we knew they were going to then fire, and had some turnovers out of that. But once you start going to the double teams, if we're able to move the ball and get in the blender and have the proper spacing, we're able to generate some good shots. And I thought Luka was really patient. Him starting the game aggressively against the Reds, forced them into having to double team him, and then the other guys were beneficiaries of that.
JJ, along those lines, Luka entered tonight averaging about 10 points per game in the first quarter, which is his highest scoring quarter. With you guys, season high 21 tonight in the first. Is there a benefit to him getting going early and just the chain reaction that has with the defense then being forced to double and just that opening up everything else for everyone else?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it was exactly in Dallas, but I know he had a number of big first quarters for them. I remember seeing some stat with last season with it was some crazy number of 25-point first quarter. So, this is kind of what he does and has done throughout his career. But we want him to be aggressive no matter what. But he's gonna play the right way. It's not his teammates have talked about that over the last few days. Just the way that he's getting them shots and that he's not really he's not forcing things when they are double teaming. He's just kind of allowing the game to present itself, and then he makes the read.
Along the same lines, when he gets going like that, have you seen, I mean, the ball's in his hands a lot of the times too, but have you seen a recognition from his teammates in order to kind of keep it going, doing what they can to keep that streak going for him?
Yeah, we've talked about it as a staff, with the group, just having the recognition when he's on the floor, generally, unless it's, transition, an early mismatch when we are healthy, and let's say Rui or LeBron runs the floor, like he should touch the basketball in the half court.
JJ, you've been pretty clear with us that the goal is to make the playoffs, but you guys have been a pretty special team in this building this season. If it comes to a time where going for home court advantage becomes a thing, do you think what your team's been able to do here, does that make it worth something to chase, perhaps?
We would all love to have home court advantage. It would be nice, and our group has been awesome at home so far. They have, but again, you gotta play the next game, and you gotta win the game in front of you. And then I've just seen it too many times. The basketball gods, start messing around with things. The basketball gods, they will punish you.
Okay, that's 9 straight wins at home now. Is there anything extra that you're feeling as a team in this building, or even you individually, and how has that been evolving?
I mean, it's always easier to play at home, I think. You got the crowd. You get home here, so it's kind of easier to play at home, so that's what I think.
You've been clear about you're kind of just taking one game at a time. Is that a mentality that goes back to your youth, your dad, or basketball? Where did you get that kind of just not wanting to look too far ahead and think about the next game?
Where did I get that? Honestly, I don't know. But it's just, as a team, as a player, you got to prepare for the next game, not thinking you got to prepare for what's next, not what's in the future. So, I mean, it's always been like that. So, I don't know when it started.
You were able to get, I think, 3 of your first 3 baskets tonight inside the arc. A lot of even with your recent 30-point scoring games, have been free throws and 3-point shooting. I guess, how did it feel for you to be able to find that rhythm or establish that rhythm inside the arc, and then I guess build it back out from there?
Yeah, I mean, it's easier for me to start there, just driving the ball. I think when I drive the ball, it gets better for everybody in the court. So I wanted to start like that today.
In that same spirit, when you are obviously using your drives to then set up your outside shots, do you use your scoring to set up your passing at all? Like JJ referenced that when you were in Dallas, you had many 20-point first quarters. Is that part of your kind of strategy?
I mean, it's not strategy. It's just what the defense give you. So at the first, they were just switching and let me go 1-on-1. So I know at some point they're gonna double. So just so that I just gotta say, just play out of that. Then we play 4-on-3. We've been doing that great. So that's the game.
Luka, Mike mentioned the 9 straight here, and we've seen your interactions with the crowd and the fans. How has that built over your time here in a month plus, and how do you feed off of the crowd when you're hitting a big shot and they're going crazy, and just kind of that relationship?
I mean, you just feel the energy in the crowd. Some crazy shots that I can hit. So when I hit one of those, I know the crowd goes crazy and just give energy. And I don't think just for me, and for the whole team.
Luka, živijo. J.J. Redick te ni zamenjal v prvi četrtini, si mu tikaj rekel, da ga mislim, da te ne zamenja glede na to, da si imel 20 točk. In kaj ta tekma pomeni glede na to, da si igral 3 četrtine na dolgi rok za ta težek ritem, ki je pred vami?
Ja, ne, nič mu nisem rekel, on ve, ko mi gre dobro, mislim, vem, da me bo pustil not, tako da to sploh ni bilo vprašanje. Ampak super, tu je malo več počitka, da nisem igral četrte četrtine, meni top.
Luka, you were, kind of hot from the start, really got the crowd going, the team going. What does it do for the team when you get off to a hot start like that and kind of build momentum from the beginning?
I think it helps the team, especially when I was talking like the energy of the crowd, it was big in the first quarter already, so just for a reminder of the game, it helps everybody.
Luka, why do you think this team has been so successful defensively since you've been here, and what role do you think you've been able to play in that?
I think everybody's connected on defensive end. There's a lot of talk and a lot of communication, and then on the effort side, everybody's doing a lot.
Hey, Luka, when you first arrived here, obviously the feeling was shock. Now, nearly 2 months later, what would you say is the main word that you feel being here?
You said the main word? Just one word?
More if you like.
I mean, I like short answers. What would I say? I mean, just feels like getting into a new home, Dallas was my home for 7 years, almost 7 years. It really felt like home. So coming here, just trying to build a new home, and I'm getting more and more comfortable.
Luka, mogoče eno out of the box vprašanje. Glede na to, da imamo domačo muziko za tvoje ogrevanje, na podlagi česa zbiraš komade? Je to neko trenutno razpoloženje ali kaj drugega?
Ne, v bistvu jaz sploh ne zbiram. V bistvu jim že prej pošljem veliko komadov, pošljem kakšen radio, tako da tudi oni brskajo, da sami pesme.
Oh, thanks.
That first quarter, you guys really came out offensively. That mindset, 45 points.
Well, I mean, when you got one player that scores 21 of them, you're going to score a lot of points in a quarter. So he got it going early. He was fine. So when you see that, you just want to keep giving him the ball and let him go to work. So.
A lot of times in this league, when you hear maybe a couple stars aren't playing, there's this letdown. What was the mindset for you guys coming in? No Murray, no Jokic, but it didn't seem to faze you guys.
Yeah, I think that I think if you watch enough basketball, you see how that can be real. So yeah, the mentality was to go out there and play our style of basketball, pay attention to the details, continue to play the game the right way, and then we would be successful. And we did that. I think the first and third quarter, second quarter was a little janky, and fourth quarter was really janky. So we got to clean those things up.
Gabe mentioned when he was getting interviewed by the media, a lot of people talk about the offense, but really it was the defense that's kind of tightened up since you guys came home.
Yeah, I think it's just all about trust and trusting in the schemes, trusting in one another. You can't. There's so many good players in this league that you're not going to ever be able to guard everybody one-on-one. You're going to have to do it with the team. So I feel like we've had each other's backs really well. Yeah, go ahead.
I know you're bummed that Dan's going to ask some questions.
Y'all get up. Y'all, you already talked? Y'all want to go get 21 and a quarter? I've never done that.
I know you're bummed Dan's going to ask some questions, but you told me the other day you shot a 67. On 18, did you three-putt? Did I?
For sure. I've shot 5 under before, par 71 at this course. I've shot a 67 on a par 72. So I've shot 5 under a couple times, and that was to my
putt on 18.
Eagle putt on 18. I had a chance to shoot 6 under, and was like, I'm not leaving this one short. So I hit it about 5-6 feet past, and didn't really care about the putt coming back because I wasn't going to be able to shoot a 66.
I did my research. I got people out there, just so you know. Go ahead, Dan.
It's like the 5th time I've heard you tell this story.
We're just mad you can't break 80.
It's true. I am very angry about it. To go really dig in on Luka's first quarter, his ability to kind of get to all three levels, especially when he's really comfortable. Like, you've tried to guard him before and been in that situation. What's it like seeing it as a teammate?
Oh, it's very fun. It's much better this way than the alternative. Trying to guard him in those situations is almost impossible because he shoots the three so well. He's willing to shoot the mid-range and get to the cup, but his passing is probably, in my opinion, one of his best attributes. So you always have to kind of stay home unless you want to give up a lob. But if you're trying to take the lob away with the low man, he's going to give up a corner three. So, one really underrated thing about him is how strong he is, and it's hard to stay in front of him because he uses his strength so well.
Guys get off to hot starts like that. Like, some guys will come and keep firing and stuff like that. He seems just as happy if he's able to facilitate it for someone else. How has that energy been, especially as you guys have tried to figure this out without a couple starters?
It's awesome. I mean, he continues to play the game the right way, and to be honest, I wanted him to keep firing them up because they were going in at a high rate. But like I said, he plays the game the right way. If he's got, if you blitz him, he's not trying to, race the big. He's, throwing it to the open guy and letting us play 4-on-3. So it makes it, pretty easy when you play the game the right way.